Horror games. While many associate the birth of the horror game genre to games such as Resident Evil and Silent Hill on the PS1, they actually have existed on previous older consoles, such as Capcom's Sweet Home on NES, 3D Monster Maze for the Sinclair ZX81, and Clock Tower for the Super NES. While I love watching Let's Plays of horror games, I am a big wuss, and I cannot do those kind of games. Oh boy. But I do find that I can play older games with not so impressive graphics by today's standards. And just in time for Halloween, we have a newly translated horror game. Once again, a big thank you to the translator's hard work. Hey there, this is Megablade J, and this is my review of Dead of Brain. Dead of Brain is an adventure game developed by Japanese studio Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail has been making games since 1987 and seems to focus on making adventure/visual novels as well as games for a more cultured audience. Dead of Brain was originally released on the Japanese-only PC-98 in April of 1992. It was later ported to a number of systems, including the MSX and FM Towns computer. The version I'm reviewing is a remake for the TurboGrafx-CD or PC Engine CD that was released June of 1999. The story goes, you play as Cole, a young man working a dead-end job somewhere in America during what seems to be the late 80s or early 90s. One night after work, he gets an excited call from his scientist friend, Mr. Cooper. Cole goes over to his house, where Cooper shows off his latest invention, a reanimation serum that can bring the dead back to life. After a mishap with a zombie cat, a police officer comes to investigate the weird noise, where he gets attacked and killed by said cat. Fearing going to jail, Cooper reanimates the cop, hoping that humans won't have the same aggression as animals when revived. Guess what? Yeah, no, they're even more aggressive, and also eat brains.
I'm sure I speak for the both of us when I say,
While on the run from the zombie cop, the good doctor spills the rest of the serum in a graveyard, and, well, the entire town gets overrun with zombies in a matter of hours. Doc Brown, he is not. Now Cole, his girlfriend Sheila, and Mr. Cooper need to find a way to survive and escape the zombie-infested city. I gotta admit, considering how old this game was, I wasn't expecting much as far as story, but I was pleasantly surprised. It was well written, had many plot twists that I didn't see coming, and kept me coming back to see what happens next. The three main characters aren't super fleshed out, but you do learn enough about them to get invested and want to see them make it out alive. Can't say the same for the bulk of the side characters. Though we do spend some time with the side characters, I do wish it had given us a little more to get to know them. That way, when the body count starts to rise, it would have had more of an impact. Dead of Brain plays pretty similar to typical visual novels/adventure games of the time. Basically, the story plays, you talk to different characters, find key items, a major event happens, then move on to the next scene. On the left side of the screen, you have a number of options. These include look, talk, get, move, use, go, as well as save and load. Based on the situation, you'll need to use these commands to continue on with the story. For example, you can use the look command to move a hand around the screen to find points of interest or key items. While simple, this can slow the game down a bit. There were a few times I had to examine everything in multiple rooms, multiple times before I could move on. If you missed an item, you had to go back to previous locations and re-examine everything for the one thing you missed. At certain points, action sequences will happen where you will need to either make a choice or have a limited amount of time to perform an action. Succeed, and the story moves on. Fail, and you'll get a game over and have to try again. Fortunately, the game will bring you right back to that event or a few lines of dialogue away from it. This way, it won't take too long to try again. This is a very good thing, as these sequences can be very vague in how to clear them. This results in many of them being very trial and error heavy. And I got to admit, I got stuck a few times, got very frustrated, and had to look up what to do. From what I understand, Hudson Soft allowed a lot more adult content on the PC Engine compared to Sega or Nintendo systems. This game is a prime example of that. There is a decent amount of graphic content that may not be suitable for younger players. Being a zombie game, there is a lot of violence and head smashing going on, as well as a decent amount of nudity. This version of the game is more censored than the original PC-98 version. With that being said, if you do not like gore, you may want to avoid this game. The game was pretty short, lasting about 4 to 5 hours, which might be the reason why this version was packaged with the sequel, Dead of Brain 2. From what I understand, the compilation was one of the last games released for the PC Engine. As of this recording, the sequel has not been translated into English, but is currently being worked on. Dead of Brain was only released in Japan, but there is an English translation online. If you want to own a copy, oh boy, good luck with that. As of this video, I'm seeing prices ranging from $300 all the way up to $3,000. Overall, I really enjoyed Dead of Brain. It had an interesting story that had many plot twists and plenty of zombie gore. If you're a fan of old school adventure or horror games, then I highly suggest giving this a try. This has been Megablade J. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, like and subscribe for more Let's Plays, reviews, and more of my horrible attempts to entertain you all. Thanks for watching. See y'all next mission.